everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're tuning in from. I know that we're all in different parts of the world. So it's morning for me, but Nick, I believe it's afternoon for you. So happy Monday. Excited to start the week off with everyone here. And we're really excited to dive into some of the data that we pulled of one of our largest studies yet, our Instagram content playbook. So I'm Anniston, if you don't know me, from Metricool, and we're so excited to have Nick from HypeAuditor here. HypeAuditor is a AI-powered influencer marketing tool to find creators, find the right influencers for your brand, or yeah. So Nick, I'm really excited for you to be here today. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for introduction, Anniston. Yes, so my name is Nick, and I do PR and research at HypeAuditor. And as Anniston said, HypeAuditor is an influencer marketing platform. We help brands and agencies to find influencers, analyze their accounts, and run influence marketing campaigns. And this presentation is based on one of the largest Instagram data studies ever published. And today you learn exactly what works on Instagram in 2025. We wanted to remove guesswork and give creators and brands data-backed benchmarks how to grow on Instagram right now. And let's get started and let's get to know each other. Please write in the chat who you are, a brand or a creator, and your Instagram name so that other people in the chat can connect with you and follow you on Instagram.
Amazing.
So about this study, for this report, we analyzed 700 million posts from HypeAuditor and Metricool database. Those were made by 28 million Instagram accounts. We divided influencers into 6 tiers from 0 followers to 1 million followers plus. And this data represented by median, not average. And this is very important because a median value is the middle number in a set of results. And it tells you what a typical post achieves. If you use average value, then it is influenced by viral posts. And so the typical result can be actually lower than average will show you. And the medium is the best for that kind of reports that we will share with you today.
And I think as we start to dive into this data, you might be wondering, what was the purpose of this? And the creator economy is a standard now for, leveraging visibility for your brand, but it's also evolving. It's no longer, just collaborating with these mega influencers who go viral, who have 1 million followers. It's really a scale, and it's needs to be backed by authenticity and trust. So this data, yes, provides you with this framework and this playbook, but it's also, a key to show that it doesn't have to be just these 1 million follower accounts that you can collaborate with. And it's very much an evolving industry. So this gives you, these benchmarks, whether you're emerging or macro or mega to really establish yourself in the market and find those partnerships that are going to work for you.
Yeah, and also to make this benchmark useful for as many people as we can, we divided accounts into tiers and provided data for each tier. So like at HypeAuditor, we track performance of influencer accounts, and we say that like Nana influencer is a person who has more than 1,000 followers on their Instagram account. But Metricool has data for like all tiers, and it provided data for emerging accounts. So if you just started and have about like 100 or 200 followers, that's okay, because we get you covered and we have data for you too. And also it's interesting that like the majority of creators worldwide are nano and micro creators. And before today's webinar, I went to like our tool, to the database, and we have 77 million Instagram accounts in our database, those have more than 1,000 followers, 77 million. And Anniston, can you guess how many of these accounts are nano or micro accounts?
Ooh. Well, you just said that the majority are in that tier, so I don't know, maybe half of that, like 30 million?
74 million out of 77 million are nano and micro accounts. So yeah, and I want to ask you, please write in the chat which tier you belong to now. So how many followers do you have? Which tier do you belong now? Are you nano, micro? Maybe you have macro or mega accounts here. That's interesting.
I'm a nano creator, I guess. I'm not even a creator, but I guess that's what tier I'd be categorized as.
Yeah, if you nano, then you have the highest engagement rate, and that's
Perfect.
So let's start with the highlights of our research. Reels are the best discovery tool across all tiers. Carousels drive meaningful engagement, especially for larger creators, and images still play a key role, but rarely outperform other formats in reach or engagement. And posting frequency equals growth, but the biggest surprise is that most accounts still post too little and actually lose followers because of that. So let's dive into these insights. Here you can see, we compare median performance across different content types and follower tiers for both creators and brands. So here you can see, for example, you are a micro creator, then you have between 10 and 50,000 followers, and here is the median performance of different types of accounts. So you can compare, you can take a look at your last post or like image or reels on Instagram, and take a look whether it's above medium or below medium. So you can do it right now. And this is for first 3 tiers. And on the next slide, we will share data for larger accounts. But what you can see here is you can find some patterns. And one of this pattern is that Reels actually outperform and have the highest reach among all types of content here. So you can see that Reels are good for both emerging nano and micro creators. But still, what's interesting that carousels drive more meaningful connection and drive more meaningful engagement. So that's really interesting. And another finding is that you can compare creators and brands and see that creators receive almost 3 times more comments and likes than brands do. And that's actually a global benchmark. So it's based on millions of posts and millions of accounts. And of course, of course, it depends like also on the country where you're from and on the niche in which you are posting content. For example, we know that some niches have more average reactions than other. For example, sports have a really good engagement rate, comics and sketches, outdoor and hiking and mountains, and animal content has a great engagement. And also there are some countries in which engagement rate is double than in other countries. That's actually very interesting. Then, like for last 4 years, there are 3 countries that dominate Instagram engagement rate, and it's interesting. Can you guess which countries? Chat and Anniston, can you guess which countries? Tell me at least one country from these 3 that have the highest engagement rate on Instagram globally.
Ooh, I have no idea. Mm,
It's not US, it's not UK.
yeah, I'm thinking maybe, I don't know. I'm just feeling like somewhere in Sweden or
Yeah, you got the third place.
yeah,
Sweden is in the third place, yeah,
okay.
and Japan is second, and first one is Finland.
Wow, interesting. I was
India is in
thinking
top
that
five. Yeah. Mhm.
Scandinavian countries, I don't know, I just get a feel that they're very engaging, very have great communities.
And it's interesting that it's like almost the same the last 4 years. Like Finland, Japan, and Sweden are in top countries. That's with the highest engagement rate.
Wow.
Okay, so here is the median performance for emerging nano and micro creators, and here we go. It's like influencers with larger audiences, uh, mid-tier, macro, and mega. And as accounts grow, you see that the performance leader changes, and Reels still deliver strong reach, but carousels become the top performing format, and that was actually surprising for me. And it's both for likes and comments, and especially for macro and mega creators. Why? I think that larger audiences expect deeper storytelling, multi-frame education, and product breakdowns, and carousels provide creators that space. So the formula is small creators should use more reels for discovery, and big creators should use more carousels for interaction and conversion. But both, if we take a look at brands and creators, the same is here as for nano micro. Brands receive significantly less engagement than creators do. So that's why influencer marketing uh, is a good tool for brands on social media because creators know how to talk to their audience, know how to produce content to their audience. And so, like, that's a good point for Instagram creators who seek for brand deals. You can say that, on average, creator content receives 3 times more engagement than brands content. And that's very important.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think it's so interesting that for the longest time, I mean, the last few years, it's been reels, reels, reels. It's been video content that's been, this standard of how we're going to drive the most reach, how we're going to drive the most engagement. And now we're seeing that carousels are, winning in terms of that thoughtful engagement. So overall, I don't think it's a surprise that having a mixed, content mix is that's not a surprise to anyone. But if anything, like you pointed out, reels in terms of reach and the brand awareness are great. But when you want kind of that deeper engagement or the conversion or the products showing, then carousels are a great tool.
Yeah, you're 100% right. And here, actually, on this slide, we can see the distribution
Mhm.
of content by type. And uh, what I actually like when like research gives you a clear pattern. And here we can see that as follower size grows, we see a clear shift from images to Reels dominance. And that's interesting to see that, like, for example, emerging creators create 45% of their content is images. And if we take a look at, for example, macro creators, that only 11% of their content is image. And the majority of their content is like starting from mid-tier creators who have over 50,000. We can see that 71% of their content is reels. And so as we can see this at some point when like creators earn, like, for example, from, I'd say, 20,000 followers, they start receiving brand offers, and they understand that they can actually earn some money out of their content, and so they turn into professionals at some point, and so they understand what drives their growth, and like reels drive their growth, so they post more reels. That's obvious. And what's interesting that brands post more images than creators, almost like twice the time for all tiers. You see, for example, mid-tier creator posts 13% of images and brand 21%, macro 11% and brand 19%. So here is a good question. Like, are they posting what works the best for the audience, or what is the easiest for their team? Because like image is the easiest way, like to make a post on Instagram. It's harder to make reel, but yeah.
I think it's interesting when even the mid-tier and I mean, from micro to mega, the percentage of reels in comparison to carousels and images. And when you called out that a lot of it is going to be these paid partnerships, then it really makes it clear of why they would use video content and reels, right? They're going to promote these products. They're going to show a day in the life of how they use it in their day to day. But maybe there's some of the missing opportunities for that storytelling piece. So I think it's interesting. And also, the real lashers commented and said, not sure if others feel the same, but I find reels so tedious to make,
Mhm.
which is a really, normal and common pain point. It takes a lot of time to create video content. And if that's not your full,
Mhm.
occupation, then it can have a lot of lift. So it's interesting that then emerging creators are heavily posting more of image content, um, because maybe they don't have, the time or the resources to. So I think it's interesting, but also it's good to know that we can use things like carousels that can drive more of the storytelling piece, in a way that's not as a heavy lift.
Yeah, totally agree with you. And what is even more harder than produce high quality or like medium quality reels is to do it on a constant basis. And
Right.
like this slide illustrates it. So
Mhm.
post more, grow faster. It's so obvious, but so the more you post, the faster you grow. Like, but posting once a week or less. If you post once a week or less, our data shows that uh, you are losing your followers. So accounts who make one post per week or less, uh, their audience early growth per year is -2%. And those who post 2-3 posts per week, they on average gain 19% of audience per year. And the real growth starts like from 7 posts per week, and that's actually a lot. Like,
Mhm.
especially if you are doing reels, and if they are like high quality reels, and it's a lot. But the actual growth starts from there. That's obvious. And you know what? Everyone knows to grow you should post more. But wait a second. But most creators don't post enough. Yeah, so you can see that even though posting more leads to faster growth, 93.5% of creators post only once a week or less. And here we are talking about Instagram influencers with over 1,000 followers. We don't talk about emerging creators. We are talking about accounts with more than 1,000 followers. Uh, so just 5% reach the recommended 2-3 posts per week, and only 0.04 post 7+ times a week. And so the result, a lot of accounts have slow or negative growth because of their posting inconsistency. And here I would like to say that Metricool is the perfect tool to actually solve this, and to post as many content as you need, and like, because it's almost impossible like to make consistently 7 posts per week without pre-scheduling it with the help of the tool. And this is this obvious, but that actually works. The data shows us that that works.
Absolutely. I think it's interesting of showing that, okay, 10 plus posts a week is going to lead to almost 80% growth. Great. For some of us, that's not realistic. But on the other hand, it did show, 2 to 3 posts a week still can increase your growth by almost 20%. So I think it's easy to get discouraged of, oh, I'm not posting 10 times a week, but even keeping a realistic, benchmark for your brand of 2 to 3 times a week, I think is, pretty manageable, and that still can lead to significant growth. So while as, it might be amazing to someday get to 10 posts a week, keep it realistic for your brand. But it is also key that, posting once a week or even less can negatively affect your growth. So think 2 to 3 posts a week. If you're like, I don't even know where to start, then, stay there for consistency.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And it's also amazing how many influencer accounts are actually losing their followers if you take a look at their early audience growth. And if you are not losing, if you are like staying on the same follower size or growing a little bit, then you're a lucky one, because actually not so many Instagram influencer accounts are showing growth right now.
Mhm.
Okay, so and what's the best time to post? The best time to post hasn't changed much. This data is provided by Metricool, and it's evening. Globally, 8 p.m. Remains the sweet spot. And as for the best day to post, it's of course every day, but the best performing days are now Wednesday and Friday, making a shift from last year's top days. So if you choose to post 2-3 times per week, then do it in the evening. Monday, Friday, Wednesday will be the best times to do it, because there are the most number of connected Instagram accounts during these days, during this time.
I think a lot of people ask of, why is that 8 p.m. a sweet spot? And I think it's the time when both marketers, creators, and normal consumers are all online, right? We're ending our day, we're winding down, we're trying to catch up on the content for the day. So I think it is really that sweet spot of when a lot of people are connected. But also, I think with Metricool of tracking your specific audience engagement and when your audience is more active is key too. So while this is a global benchmark, if you have a Metricool account, you can look into when your audience is active week on week. So it's a good global benchmark, but also know that there might be some differences for your specific account. And then the Wednesday and Friday are interesting too, but it also makes sense, right? We're in the middle of our weeks. We're trying to, consume content, understand what's going on. And then Friday too is everyone's kind of ending the week. So it's interesting to see how it shifts. But again, this isn't the end all be all of your strategy, right? It's just a benchmark to know. So
Yeah, you should make a lot of experiments actually, and you don't have to be paralyzed by the thought of, oh, when is the best time, what is the best type of content. You just have to post and see how it goes,
yeah.
and
And
that's actually it.
RZ5293 just posted a comment that's really, really important. Talking about posting time, your topic matters. More serious content about world problems may not do well in the evening because people are unwinding. That's 100% right. And that's where the experimentation can come into play of, is this a topic that people want to consume as they're winding down, or is it make more sense in the morning as they're logging on? So those key questions to yourself for your strategy are really important.
I agree with you. Uh, some useful tips from Metricool and HypeAuditor teams to maximize the progress of your content. So, trial reels. This advice may be actually outdated. because they've been with us for a while. And actually, I would like audience in the chat write, did you have experience with trial reels? Did you try it? It has been for a while with us, and I know that Meta has made some kind of limits right now of how many trial reels you can produce with your own account, but it's still a very good way to grow your account. Trial reels are one of Instagram's most exciting updates. You can now safely test a video. It's only shown to new users, not to your followers. And after 24 hours, you decide whether it deserves a full launch or not. It's like basically A/B testing for Reels. And what we see at HypeAuditor that Mr. Beast, Mr. Beast's team uses trial reels a lot. They made actually like about 50 trial reels per day in their accounts, and Mr. Beast is not one of the fastest growing YouTube accounts, but now it's one of the fastest growing Instagram accounts too, and he is like in top 10 fastest growing accounts globally for last 2 years. Yeah.
Nick and I were talking earlier about he had asked me if I use trial reels, and I said I've tried it before, but when you're on not the brand side or a creator, just individually, I was saying that it might be hard because I don't have a product or really a promotion to, or even a goal in it. So I think if you are looking to try trial reels, go into it with a clear goal of, okay, if this is about a product or if this is about real engagement, then go into it with that clear goal, and then you can really understand if it did achieve that goal, and if you want to move it to your normal feed. But it's interesting to to test it in your own personal accounts, because yeah, it's a fun little game.
And it actually gives you more freedom because
Yeah.
you don't think like, oh, that person that follows me, they know me, then probably my family, my parents, my friends, etc. But you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Next thing is we talked about it, that consistency beats creativity. And like head of Instagram Adam Masseri confirmed that shadowing doesn't hurt your reach. So creators can finally stop stressing about manual posting and plan, schedule, and use the time to focus on creativity instead. And I had like I talked to many professional creators who earn money from their Instagram accounts, and that's part of their normal workflow to batch create, schedule with the help of the tool, and stay consistent. Of course, you can feel your audience, your followers, and you can create. Like you have motivation to create some random pieces of content that can become viral, but it's a long-term game, and on long term you should make a normal workflow out of it, not to be burnt out. And so that's normal process to like analyze, think of topics of content you want to create, then put some time and put a day to batch create, schedule, and stay consistent. This is how it goes.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think when we were talking about, the challenge of posting, 7+ pieces of content, it really goes back to what's going to be sustainable for your brand. And maybe that is batch creating content, filming an hour worth of content and then breaking up into a week, 2 weeks, so you can schedule it out and you can know that you have 2 weeks of content ready to go. So then if those trending moments are happening, you can say, I know that I have a week or two of content scheduled. I can give myself back that hour of creativity. So right, we're talking about this consistency, and it goes back to building a strategy that's sustainable for your brand, and using tools like scheduling to be able to have that flexibility. And then on the return, analyzing what's working well, so you don't have to completely reinvent the wheel every time, right? You can understand what content performs best, to notice and analyze those patterns, to keep creating content in a way that's you're not losing your mind every single time trying to decide what to post.
Yeah, totally agree with it. And let's remind about how to create viral reels. So while reels are the strongest format for discovery, you only have about 3 seconds to capture your audience attention before they swipe. And here are a few hacks and tips to grabbing your audience attention while increasing engagement rate and retention. So probably most of you know about it, but let's repeat again. Hook in the first 2 seconds, use multiple cuts, add text overlays, use trending sounds, keep it short and with strong CTA, and share to stories. Also, sometimes it can be useful to work with tools like ManyChat, for example, that can help you increase engagement rate on your reel, and with that increased engagement rate, your reel will be shown to huge audience. So for you who don't know, ManyChat is the tool to automate your DMs. For example, you make some kind of useful content and say comment, for example, one into comment section, and I will send you the PDF, the instruction, the link, etc. And by utilizing ManyChat, you can receive many commands, and it makes your reel have more reach. Okay, and this slide is especially for brands who watch our webinar. So as we previously said that creators receive 3x more likes and comments than brands. They know how to communicate with their audience, and that's why if you are on social media, you have to work with influencers, and that doesn't always mean that you have to pay them money. Actually, you have to build relationships with them. You can actually send them your goods. You can actually take a look at your customers, at your customer base that actually have some influence on social media, and it's easier to get in contact with the person who actually uses, likes, needs your products and services, than just to find out a random influencer and say, hello, here is my brand, because authenticity still matters. Yeah. And here are 4 easy steps for brands. Choose relevant creators, give creative freedom, track engagement quality, and build long-term partnerships. So HypeAuditor can help you with all these steps. We have over 207 million analyzed influencer accounts across YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch. And we are a full cycle platform, so we can help to discover right influencers, vet, and actually run campaigns. And that's it from my side. Thank you very much. And let's dive into your questions. And here is a QR code to download the full report from the Metricool website.
Thank you, Nick. That was great. Yeah, I think as you just touched on the last slide too, and I said this in the beginning, having a tool like HypeAuditor is going to help you narrow down finding the right creators for your brand, or vice versa, an influencer finding the right brand to work with, right? Because each brand has a different, they have different budgets, they have different goals, and we're no longer just chasing after these viral creators, right? We want to find creators that are going to have authentic storytelling, are going to actually use the products that the brands have. So it's a great tool, and yeah, I think that it's essential for any brand that's looking to leverage influencer partnerships. So I'm going to go back and see what questions we have. And of course, feel free to drop some more questions if you have any. Oh, this is an interesting question. Would collabing with other pages help contribute to growth and get us that 10 plus posts per week? I think that's a really interesting question. And yes, I think that collaborating with other brands or influencers is a great way to consistently, post, stay active, and achieving that 10 plus posts per week.
Yeah, totally agree with you. And uh, when when I check influencer account at HypeAuditor, so like we have influencer analytics, and you can check whether like it's authentic or not, what audience consists of, like bots or real people. And one of the main things that I always look at is how many mentions from other influencer accounts do this account has. And this is about collaborative posts, and also when another account just like mentions your account in their posts, reels, carousel, etc. Yeah. And what I see that there are many accounts that have like 100,000 of followers, and they look legit. For me, they look good. But when I take a look how many mentions from other accounts they have probably zero mentions. And that's the main question, why that happens. And then I go to the section of like audience quality, and I see that they are mostly are made of bots, and they are inauthentic influencers. So yeah, this is a good way to grow, and this is a good signal like for brand managers. When they analyze influencer accounts, they see that they are taking part in the communication in that niche, in the topic. They are mentioned by industry leaders, they are mentioned by other accounts, and so that's a good sign for your account and probably for Instagram algorithms. And of course, especially if you are from the same niche. And as far as I know, you can have up to 6 collaborators in that kind of posts. So yeah, that's a good way to grow your account. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But then, of course, on, the extreme, you don't wanna just rely on the 10 collaboration posts, because you want to also have that original content, right? To tell your brand story, to grow your own community. So I think it's good to have a mix and a balance. Great question. Okay, next one. Should we post an hour before peak so our post is live as they're getting online? That is a great question. And I think, again, there's never going to be a one answer of you have to post at this time, you need to do this. So I think this is a great time to experiment. Again, your audience is going to be active at different times compared to these global benchmarks, but I think you should test it. Test it an hour before and see how your reach, your engagement does. And I think this is, again, a great time to experiment.
Agree with you.
I
And
think,
you should never overthink this.
yeah,
You should never.
exactly.
Quality of your content is more important than which time you post it. Yeah.
This is another great question. When using a brand account on Instagram, any tips on utilizing the audio they limit us to? I know that using trending audio is a huge topic. It's also a huge way to, you know, get new reach, get new eyes. I will say that I would see what's trending for the week in Instagram Reels based on the commercial audio use and see, or even as you're scrolling, even as you are looking to, at kind of other account inspiration, see what audio they're using. Um, yeah, I don't know if you have any tips, Nick.
I don't have any tips regarding the trending audio.
Yeah, it's a hard one for sure because you are limited to what you use. But again, experiment and use the tools like, the trending list on Instagram audio to see what is trending that week, that month. Yeah. Okay. I think those were all the questions that were asked, but Again, we have dropped the link to download the study, also to try HypeAuditor, to try Metricool. All of the links are in the chat. So I hope that you guys have fun diving into this report. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments on YouTube. This video will also be available for playback. So if you want to go back on it, watch it again, feel free to. But it's been a pleasure, Nick. Thank you guys all for tuning in today, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.